Okay, I said 2017 was going to be the year of the folding drones, and here's another one to review. This from a company I've not worked for before. This is Songyang Toys, and this has been kindly supplied by GearBest. I'll put links down in descriptions for you, so you can go and have a look at it if it's something that you quite fancy. Obviously just black and white, just quick run around the box basically. We've got Wi-Fi controller, and also we get a proper transmitter as well, so that's rather nice. I like it when they have those two systems. Works on Android and also on Apple as well, which is cool. Quick run through all the bits and pieces down the side, and your warnings and everything are on the bottom. And then on this side it tells you get 4 blade covers for free. They tend to come for free anyway, or included, but it's nice of them to tell them that they've actually put them in there free of charge. And one thing I've noticed straight away is the box is really small, so I don't know how big this thing's going to come out, but that's a huge benefit of folding drones. Obviously they're not going to use up so much. It's got altitude hold, like I say, Wi-Fi, lights and everything, all the usual stuff. And it says it's an HD camera, and looking at that lens there, it should be pretty smart if that's the one I've got. So let's get it out and have a look. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, no posh packaging actually, just straightforward bit of cardboard, and just everything's sort of cable tied in really, but absolutely ample. That's not going to get damaged or anything. And like I say, it's really packed in well into the box. All your stuff in there, the instructions and everything I'll have a quick go through. Let's get this all out and see what it looks like. So that's everything out of the box, and it really is a smart looking quad. They call it a drone, and that's fine. The arms actually sort of fold out without you pressing anything. This is, I would say it's a similar size to the Skytech TK110 that I reviewed, and I might well put these two together either at the end of this video, or I'll do a separate video and just compare them up, because they're about the same price as well, so I'd be interested to see what the differences are. This basically comes out and just locks into position, a little bit of wobble on there, but I'm sure that's absolutely fine. And then you've got a little lever here that you slide in and then unlock and put it back in. So it's quite simple, but on other quads you usually have to press the unlock thing to unlock it basically, and this one you don't. You can just literally pull it out. It comes out to a fair old size. I quite like the old folding drones. They're coming on really nicely. It's got sort of chrome on the motors. I don't know whether that's to give you an illusion of brush motors. They're certainly not. And obviously our LEDs are all going to be underneath and everything. It doesn't look as though it would have to belly down if you didn't put the landing gear on. And for a foldable drone, I'm sort of thinking, in my mind, a foldable drone is because you want to bung it in a backpack and go somewhere. They've sort of designed this so you don't even need a screwdriver to pop it together. You just literally slide these in, they click into position sort of, well, they don't really click, but they're pretty well held in there, and then you just simply slide it back out, so sort of a friction fit in there. So you could actually pack it all flat and everything, and the reason you need the landing gear is there's none really on it. It would come down just on these LED covers here, which I don't think would be too bad, probably be fine, and they're protected under here, so you shouldn't get any grass or anything up inside. And the other thing is, if you're flying it with a camera, the camera's quite a size, so it hangs down quite a lot. And the picture on the cover showed that was all lens, and this isn't. There's a tiny little lens in there. I'm pretty sure it's a 0.3 megapixel. This absolutely weighs nothing at all. It's just basically a big cover for no particular reason, to be honest. My one's got the Wi-Fi, so it doesn't take a micro SD card or an SD card in the back, but obviously if you've got the one without the Wi-Fi, then you could just put an SD card and record in on there. So I'll get that all assembled when we go out for a flight. It's really simple to do. Interestingly, you get a couple of spare props where normally you get a full set of 4, and I've wound up, it must be just an error in the factory, I've wound up with 2 B props. If you're new to quads, you need A and B props, so you usually get A and B, and I've just got 2 Bs, so hopefully they obviously know I'm only going to break a B prop, and you get a couple of little cones on the prop cones as well, a couple of spare ones of those. What they said was free on the box. Basically, these are protectors for you if you're new to flying and everything. They just simply pop over there, and then you just simply screw them in. I'm not going to bother with them, but they would give you protection if you needed. But that's again makes a folding drone a massive sort of thing, rather than being nice and small and easy to carry. The battery is a single cell, and it's 800 milliamp hour, and that fits in underneath really well. And you leave the cable out to plug into there, and then you've still got on and off switch. So I think that's it's nicely done, and we'll give that a go once I actually get this charged up, obviously. The charger is a little USB adapter, so plug that into your computer or mains adapter and then just plug it into there. I would imagine that's going to take an hour or so to charge, but I'll put down the results when I do the summary at the end. You get your obligatory small Phillips screwdriver for a couple of reasons. There's a little screw holding the battery bay door locked in, but I don't really think you need it, to be honest, but it's there if you want it, if you want extra protection there, but I don't think the battery will fall out, to be honest. And the other thing is you need 4 AA batteries, which you don't get with it. For the transmitter, that's quite normal. And again, you need the Phillips screwdriver just to pop that out as well. So this feels really, it's obviously a toy grade one, and it feels really sort of light grade plastic sort of thing. It's got altitude hold in it, and I'll run through what all the buttons do when we're actually out flying. It does just feel very, very cheap and plastic in your hand. But it's not an expensive drone, and for what you get, I think it's quite amazing actually. Okay, got the battery on charge, quick look through the operating manual, and this one's pretty good actually. It's well laid out. If you're new to quads and everything, it explains all the warnings and the safety stuff. Got all your dimensions and everything down here, as you can see, and what you get in your pack as well, just in case you're missing anything. And on to actually unfolding the quad. How to charge your battery and everything, really well done. An explanation on the controls for the transmitter, and that's nicely done. The only thing that I thought was a bit strange was if you want to do an emergency landing, it seems, you pull both control levers as pigeon-toed when forced landing. So if you see a lot of pilots stood around pigeon-toed, they're obviously trying to get the quadcopter out of the air very quickly. But very simple. I mean, it does show you how to do it, so I'm quite impressed with that. The graphics are all good, and if you're calibrating and everything, got any problems, it runs through all those. A couple of the translations aren't 100% brilliant, but you certainly get the gist of it, and I'm quite impressed with it actually. I didn't realise it does 3D flips as well, so we'll give that a go when we're out for the flight. How to install the landing gear, and also how to install the camera as well, though it's pretty self-explanatory, it's really not difficult to do. So no, all in all, very good. Parts list on the back, so yeah, pretty good little instruction manual. And there's another piece of paper in the actual box, and that's for putting the app on your phone. And like I say, it's either Apple or Android, and to be honest, it looks just like Wi-Fi UFO, exactly the same. And I've done a complete video on how to use this app. I would imagine this is just a copy of it, to be honest, and I'll put a link down in the description for you, and it's got your QR quick read codes there as well, and then there's the whole stuff is repeated in Chinese as well. Okay, so with this one you turn the quad on first of all. It's quite easy to get to the button actually, which is better than a lot of designs. The camera you can actually angle as well. I'm just going to leave it more or less in the middle, and as you can see our LEDs aren't the brightest, but it's funny when you get them at an angle they don't look quite so bad, so we'll see how we get on with them. They're flashing ready to bind. I've installed the app on here, and it is exactly the same as Wi-Fi UFO app, but I'm going to run the JUFO, which is the one they recommend. So just got to log on to the Wi-Fi, and then we can run the app. There we go. Oh, that comes up nice and quick, and yeah, that's not bad. Yes, reasonably quick for a Wi-Fi FPV. I've had a lot worse than that, and I would say it's about equal to the good ones. To bind, simply turn the transmitter on, and then you go up and down on the throttle, and then our flashing LEDs go to solid LEDs, and then we're actually ready to go. Quick run through the transmitter. We've got a flip button here, and this one here controls your speed rates, so high and low rates. You've got auto takeoff, auto land in here, and then you've got headless mode here, and the other ones are trim buttons. And like I say, it's altitude hold, this one, so you can just start it like that sort of thing. I'm going to record on the actual app as well, so we get a little bit of action as well. That does seem a little bit wobbly. Oh no, it's fine once we're up and away. Hey, that's alright. It does look a little bit like a mini Q500, a very mini Q500. So that's in low rates. And it is quite low and slow.
Whoa, yeah, that is. Which is nice if you're a beginner. Yeah, no, that's okay actually. And obviously for video it's not so bad. Wi-Fi seems to be keeping up pretty well actually. I'll do a range test in a second. So that's good, so that's in low rates. Let's try a flip with it. So I'm going to simply hold this button down here and it just keeps flashing. Yeah, it's not the quickest flipper in the world. And then you just choose a direction with this one here, so no problem at all. Altitude hold's working really well, and it does descend at a reasonable speed as well, which is rather good. But yeah, actually, it's not too bad. Just wanted to warm up a bit, I think. Yeah, let's try it up in high rates, so simply press this one. Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, that's good. Oh, I like that. Actually, the LEDs do work pretty well. They look so low when I first did it. An altitude hold, superb. Look at that, spot on. Oh, that looks nicely. Wow, it's actually quite. The yaw is quite a bit in it actually. Nice and fast, yeah. So that's yaw in high rates, and that's low rates. Whoa, there's a big difference. You can see why they only have 3 rates, I guess. So that's roll in high rates, and that's in low rates. So huge difference, which is nice. So yeah, I like that. Yeah. And the FPV, let's just do a quick range check on the FPV. So that's about 30 meters there. We're holding no trouble at all. I'm actually going to go down. I know I can get about 50 meters in, and that's usually quite good on a Wi-Fi FPV. Let's just see how we go. It's a nice flyer actually. I don't know, I've not worked for them before. I just wonder how good it would be. But no, it actually flies very nicely. Still good on the Wi-Fi. If I get over there, that's about 50 meters. That's 50 meters where we are now, and we're still holding really well actually. Yeah, you know, that's just starting to get a dropout, which is about right. That's nothing unusual. Let's see what it's like with a rapid run down to it. Yeah, it's a lovely little flyer actually. The video's a little bit wobbly, I would say, but there's no surprise there. There's no dampening on it for a start, and certainly the range is fine. I'm not getting any, haven't had any dropout on the transmitter at all. Always worry when I say something like that. So I'm going to try the auto takeoff. Whoa, straight in there, isn't it? There's no trouble at all. Let's try the auto land. I'm always a little bit nervous about this. So normally if you bring it into land, you just come down and land, and then it shuts the motors off really quickly actually. That's quite impressive. So it's just, oh sorry, let me just kill that again. There we go. So if you just hold the throttle down, it just kills the motors, rather nice. Auto takeoff, just press it, off she goes. I'm just going to try auto land now, see what we do. Oh, that's not too bad. It's sort of positive, which I like. Sometimes they drift along and bounce a lot. So let's just give that a little bit of a go from a height. Let's give it a little bit of height here. Hopefully it won't come crashing to the ground, so I'm going to auto land. Ah, that's actually quite controlled. For such a small quad, that's actually quite nice. There we go. That's what can usually happen, sort of thing. Is they can be a bit like that. Back at an angle this time. I'll just give it a little go. It doesn't go very far. It's only a small amount of movement, but we'll try it anyway. Actually, quite impressed with the auto takeoff and auto landing compared to a lot of them. I'll try and do a selfie. We're going to have to go up quite a way now. Ah, there we go. Ah, And flight time's been pretty good as well. I still haven't got flashing LEDs, which are rather good. So what I will do is I'll try headless mode. So let's press this one here. And that should be headless. That certainly is. Yep. So if you want headless, it does headless quite happily. Not really my thing, but it does have its uses, I must admit. I'm going to turn that off. They don't actually, I'm not sure you get flashing LEDs. They are quite difficult to see, to be honest. I'll bring it into the shade. Let's just see how we go. Oh, we've got flashing LEDs. Yeah, so we've got low battery warning. Yeah. So we're on low battery warning. Let's see how much longer we get flight-wise. I don't recommend you do this. I'm just doing this for the review, just to check it out fully. And I'll actually stop the video now. Oh, there we go. And it's just going to kill itself. There we go. So actually, that came down to land pretty good. It didn't just cut it totally. So no, actually, quite a good little fly. Quite good fun. Okay, this time I've turned the quad on. And we've got flashing LEDs, and I'm actually going to try and fly on the actual app itself. I warn you, I'm not great at these things. I don't know if it's my phone or just operator error, but I don't fly particularly well with the apps, and I much prefer a proper transmitter. But if you're taking this out as a sort of selfie drone, you want it in your backpack, and you've got this, then that's the way to do it. Obviously, all you'd carry is this. So you've still got the altitude hold if I let go. It's just going to sit there rather good. Yeah, it actually works quite well. That's good. Very precise actually, really precise. Yeah. And you can alter the rates with this as well, so we take it up to 60%. So we've actually got 3 rates changes with this. That's just the way the apps work. So. Right, and of course you've still got the Wi-Fi effect, Wi-Fi on the FPV. It's actually quite good. It's a lot better than a lot, I must admit. And it's not got too much drift though, it's got lovely. Yeah, I mean it's not going to position hold. Like I say, it's working quite well. So let's try it up in high rates. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm never overly confident, to be honest, with these. This is actually one of the best apps. Hey, it's quite good. Yep, actually, for me with an app, that's pretty good. Like that. There we go. So, and then we can stop, and you press that one, off it goes. Yeah, so it does auto take off as well. No, I'm quite impressed, yeah. A lot better than a lot of them, I think. Yeah, it's rather good, actually. What happens if we kill it when we're up? There we go, yeah, no, so it works fine. But of course, it's going to go back up to the middle, then off it goes again. There we go, and then it sort of stabilises. That's rather good, actually. Yeah, sort of. Got quite a bit going for it, I think.
So what did I think? Well, I wasn't expecting much out of it. It's a company I've never heard of, and I thought, I don't know, it's a lightweight quad. It's probably a copy of somebody else's quad, and I just didn't have a lot of faith in it. But actually, it's actually a lovely quad, and it flies really nicely. That's the key thing for me with quads, and I like the design of it. It is rather nice. One thing I've sort of investigated is how to put the prop guards on. Not something I use, but if you're new to flying, I definitely recommend you put them on. And what you have to do is take off this sort of motor housing cover. It's the gear housing cover, and then you pop this on using the same screw that came out of there, and then that holds your prop guards in position, and that's going to protect your precious quad, and it's also going to protect whatever you're flying around. It is going to make the quad look quite a lot bigger, as you can see, and it's not going to make it that easy for transporting around in a rucksack or something, which is the whole idea of the folding quad bit. But if you're new to flying, I definitely recommend you do that, or take them with you, and you just need the little screwdriver they give you to assemble it. Taking apart and putting back together, really easy. You can just pop these off. They're really simple, and you could either have a little cover for that so that it fits in your rucksack, or you can just slide that out and pack it all sort of separately with it. So it is quite easy to take apart and put together, and having sort of landing gear does keep everything up off the ground as well for dust, etc. when you come into land. The camera, I mean, it did what it did. It's 0.3 megapixel. It's never going to be great, but it does just get you into a little bit of FPV, and it was kind of fun. And the FPV, the app, superb. A really good little app. Worked very well, and range was good on it, and also I could fly with it as well. The other thing you can do with it, which I didn't show you there, but on all the apps with the quads, you can actually fly it on your gyro. So if you tilt your phone forward, it will tilt the quad forward, left and right as well, so you can fly that way. I'm a real disaster with that. I don't get on with them at all, so I didn't even attempt it with this one. The transmitter itself works really well. It does feel sort of, it's got that really sort of cheapy sort of plastic feel to it, and the buttons feel a bit like that as well, but they do all work. I mean, it's sort of comfortable in the hand, easy to fly, good range. I mean, I never ran it out of range, to be honest. I got it up to 80 meters, and then I just brought it back. To me, that's more than far enough. You've run out of FPV by then, and the quad's getting quite small as well, so that's not the way I would do it. One other little thing I noticed when I was playing around with it was, if I just flick this on and we bind, you can turn the LEDs on and off with this left button switch. Just hold it down for a couple of seconds, and then I'll turn them off and on, and this is the one that changes the rates as well. So it's a handy little thing if you don't want the LEDs on, but I rather like them actually. Having sort of criticised them, they do actually work. They're pretty good. They're not the brightest by any means. The one thing I didn't actually notice outside, and I don't even know it'll show in here, is there's actually a red light here. I don't know if it'll show up, but it's really pathetic, to be honest. You wouldn't even know it was on. But that, you know, that's just on the side really. I don't really think that works. Would affect you whether you're buying it or not. The holder worked for the phone, works really well, absolutely no problem at all. All in great. I mean, it's just fantastic for the bunny. It's brilliant. What I'm going to do is put it right next to the Skytech. That's going to be my next video, and I'll put a link down in the description to that. The Skytech 110, and going to compare them up and see, because these are basically in the same area, see which one we prefer.